In a dark world, remember to be the light. Welcome to Black Swan Revelations. Here is your host, the Black Swan himself, Shane.
All right, so I just had to jump on here. I was just on Uptime Community Church. If you're still watching that, that's fine. I think they're wrapping up pretty soon. But this is just going to be very quick. We're going to try and answer some of the questions from Uptime Community Church, spend a half an hour talking about it, and some good questions came up. I wish I wrote them all down, but if you have any questions based on the show over at Uptime Community Church, then feel free to pipe them in here. And, hang on here. I got to send. I forgot to send a link to my friends, so I got to do that. Give me 1 sec here. Let's see here. Almost forgot. I will send a link to my friends. I forgot to send. They're probably wondering, where is the link? Stand by. I'm just inviting some friends just in case they want to join. I should have did this earlier. How's everybody doing tonight? Let's see. There. I think I have everybody. I think that's it. Boom. There you go. All right. How's everyone doing? I actually forgot to send a link out, so we'll see if anybody jumps over here from Uptime. I don't know if they're over, if they all finished yet. Let me just double check and see if they're still going on. Let's see. They might be wrapping it up. The nice little bow. I think they're done. I think so. Oh no, they're still on. A couple minutes. All right. So they're still on there. So that's fine. So one of the questions. Awesome. Let me just see here. Let me see 1 sec here. Let me try this. There we go. Okay. All right. So, yeah, it was a great show tonight. Had to do the opening for tonight, so it was pretty good. And then felt like 6 or 7 people on. We had Michael on there as well, so that was pretty cool, sharing a little bit about Feed My Sheep today and what he's up to. But one of the questions asked is, do the panelists think that the rapture could happen now that the United States has okayed long-range missiles into Russia from Ukraine? do I think that that has anything to do with the direction that we're going in, all this kind of stuff? So my answer to that question is it could very well be. We don't know when Jesus is coming back, nor do we know when we are finished here on earth. We don't know. We don't know. So that's the difficult part, is we can't guess when we are going to expire on this planet. We can't guess, and we don't know when Jesus Christ is coming back. But I know there are powers that be that are trying to rush things along. They're trying to speed things up. What do I mean? Well, there's all this talk of nuclear wars and World War III and all this stuff. And it feels like there is a pocket of people that want mutual destruction. And what I'm hoping is that there are some sane minds that will actually postpone the pushing of the red button, because it's too convenient to have the United States where they're just, it's almost like in some ways foaming at the mouth. And I don't know what Joe Biden's up to. I didn't think he would have any more power to still do things all the way up until January 20th. Like, it's bizarre to me, because this guy can cause a lot of damage and a lot of problems leading up to World War III. He can cause a lot of damage right now on his way out. And I didn't see that move coming. I saw more of people getting mad, people rioting, people picketing, people protesting that they didn't want Trump, they didn't want Hitler in power, all this kind of stuff. That's more what I saw. It didn't even dawn on me that Joe Biden would start okaying things left, right, and center. I didn't see that. I just thought that he would be just done. But if he has the power and authority to okay weapons, and he's not in the best frame of mind, maybe vindictive, you could say, in some ways, I think it's just a weird time. It's weird that you can have someone that's on their way out have this much power. It's kind of a strange thing. All right, so what was, let's just see here. There was also a good question about the judgment. Is all the people going to hell, and any there that will go to heaven? I'm not sure what you mean, Pambolina. Are you talking about the great white throne judgment? Because how it works is everybody has a chance to accept Christ. And I believe from the bottom of my soul that because God created the universe and everything that's in it, that he can make sure that every human being will hear about his son. I just believe that. I believe that. I don't believe in there's a villager somewhere out in the middle of nowhere that has never heard the gospel. I believe that God would give that person enough time so that they could reject or accept the gospel. This is me. This is what I believe. And especially now, man, with the internet and all kinds of stuff, you can watch videos from anywhere in the world. It's getting to a point where you can't say you didn't hear. You can say you don't believe it. You can say you don't believe in Jesus Christ, but it's getting to the point where you can't say, I never knew. Those are the people that are going to be before the great throne judgment. The people that there's so much evidence stacked against them. It's called the works, the book of works that lead to death, because there's two books being open. There's a set of books that gets open, and that's works that lead to death. I have that book. If you're a Christian, you have that book. But what's different is when you open it up, there's nothing there. It's blank. Why? Because of what Jesus Christ did on the cross. It got expunged, got deleted as far as the east from the west. So you're not going to be at the great white throne judgment unless you're on the other side judging. sitting in thrones, because there's lots of thrones in order to process tons of people that have rejected Jesus Christ and caused heinous crimes on earth. And when the books get open, they're going to be read, and nobody's going to be able to say, especially if you're not a Christian and you have the book open up, they're going to be like, did you do this? Were you here? And you won't be able to say, no, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. You won't be able to say that. There'll be so much evidence against you. Did you reject me here, 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 here? And you're 80 years old. And you, in fact, what you did is you actually came against people that believed in Jesus Christ. Those people will be carried away. And I don't know if that's what you're asking, Pam, but let's see. Is there anyone that will go heaven? Yeah, like not from the great white throne judgment. Again, my understanding, because this is basically right after the devil gets tossed into the lake of fire. Because remember, Jesus Christ reigns on earth for 1,000 years. And then after that, the devil is released for a short time to go to the ends of the earth and to gather nations to come again against Israel. And this time it's not going to be a war. It's just fire coming down from heaven to destroy everything, everyone. And the devil gets punted into the lake of fire. There's no great white throne judgment for the devil, nor the Antichrist, nor the false prophet, nor the demonic angels, the fallen angels. They just go right into the lake of fire. The devil's not in control of the lake of fire. He's not reigning over it with a pitchfork, stabbing people that are in the lake of fire. No, he is there getting cooked, just like the false prophet and just like the Antichrist and a third of the angels. And if you reject Jesus Christ, you will be frying as well for all eternity. And I believe there's two vessels. This is what I believe. Paul talks about it. He says there are some vessels that are created for eternity, if you will, for righteousness. And then there's other vessels created for destruction. And some people look at these vessels and go, well, that just means God's determining people to go to heaven, and then these people are going to hell. Versus, and this is my theory, that these two vessels are prepared. One is a heavenly vessel, which is our spiritual body that we get when we die, or when we get translated, when Jesus Christ comes back to rapture us. And the other body, the other vessel, I should say, is also an eternal vessel, but this is one that can get cooked in the lake of fire. Because we know this because there are people standing in front of the great throne, and then they get tossed into the lake of fire, whoever's name isn't written in the Lamb's book of fire. So they are immortal in their body, which is not, to me, it's not the same earthy body, because this body will just vaporize in no time. It gets cooked real quick and dissolves into dust. I believe they have a vessel that is designated for wrath, meaning it'll go into the lake of fire, and just picture a hot dog inside a sheet of tinfoil, cooking and cooking and cooking for all eternity. So, and this is just my theory. It's my theory. But you can't argue against the idea that there are people there at the great white throne judgment that have their works being opened to them. We are not there. We are not being judged by Jesus Christ. Why? We know we're not ordained to wrath, and we know we have a seat in heavenly places. Your seat is not at the great white throne judgment getting judged. There's a different seat. That's called the Bema seat, where Jesus Christ hands out rewards to you, rewards for soul winning. I believe there's like 7 crowns, and I forget them. For sure 5, but there might even be 7 crowns. Hey, sis, how you doing? So Any other questions? Any other questions that maybe was on the other show that I can answer, and then or we can at least discuss. Let's see here. Valley Watchman, when covered by his perfect blood, you are perfect without sin in the Father's eyes. 100%. 100%. It's because of what Jesus did for us. Any other questions? Any other questions? Let me see if they're still going. If not, I just wanted to. I think they're still on. Let me just see. I think they're done. They're done. So they may or may not come over, which is fine because it's kind of last minute. I just decided at the last minute to do this overtime. But I'm going to try and do it after every show because I think it's important to answer some of the questions or at least talk about some of the questions that come up because we don't always have time to discuss it on Uptime Community Church. It's just, especially if you have 6 people, 7 people on, it's difficult to answer all the questions because we usually leave about a half an hour or so at the end of the show to answer the questions. So, and welcome. In case some of you are popping over from Uptime Community Church, what we're doing is we're trying to answer some of the questions that perhaps didn't get answered on Uptime Community Church because we ran out of time. And if you have a question here, we're going to spend a little bit more time focusing on the questions and the people that are here. So let's see here. Let's see here. They're done 5 minutes ago. Excellent. Excellent. Bob's coming. I think Bob's coming on. I think so. I sent them a link. So let me just see here. Usually takes them a little bit of time to get some water, get a coffee maybe. There we go. Hey, Brother Bob.
Hey, what's going on, Brother Shane?
How you doing? I don't plan on staying too long tonight. I'm a little bit played up myself, I must admit. But I thought it's important to maybe answer a couple of questions that maybe we didn't get a chance to on Uptime. And if there's something that jumps out at you from Uptime to here, let's talk about those questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let me just see here. There's a few. I could see people jumping over from Uptime now.
Yeah, there's so many. This chat is unbelievable.
Yeah.
This thing's cruising. So if you miss questions, man, because I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to look for questions. Yes. I didn't have Greg in the background looking for questions at the time. So
yeah, and usually I copy them or something and then write down. One of them was we talked a little bit about, coming up in December with Biden doing his crazy thing. I didn't understand that's what an outgoing president has so much power that he can actually push the button. I didn't even think about that as an option with Biden going out, that he could start signing deals and say, yeah, you can use long range missiles.
That's what Obama did the same thing. Okay, when Trump was coming in, Obama was sending all kinds of money. He couldn't start a war, but he emptied out the piggy bank, man. Like you wouldn't believe. From this country, it sent it to as many people as it possibly could. Yeah. Okay. And they knew, look, I think they knew Trump was coming back in. Why do you think they ran all that money to Ukraine? All right, because they sent all that money to Ukraine. And then a lot of it, I would say about at least 50% of it came back in here as political PACs for the Democrat Party. And they took all that money, they stuffed their pockets, and they went out and bought assets with it, houses, boats, cars, properties, all kinds of stuff in other countries, especially. And now they're all fleeing the country and going to those assets that they bought, and I think they're going to get away with it. Okay. Yep. And when the new currency comes in, then they can sell those assets in the new currency. They'll be rich in the new currency.
Right.
So that's what happened there. That's why Biden's like, man, I need one more paycheck. I need one more. I need a $20 million. Hey, Zelensky, I'm going to authorize this money for you. Okay, don't look my ice cream. I need an extra $20 million in my pocket. So that's why he sent Zelensky all that money, him and all his Democrat buddies. Okay,
Wow.
it's
That
just
makes sense now.
they want to
crazy.
get one. They want to get one last final paycheck and
Wow.
try to bumper themselves from all this. So it's like, and I'll be honest with you. I'll say this here, and I know because BP Earthwatch said it. You know the type of justice we need. This is what he said. Not only do you deplatform them, you also have to arrest them, put them in prison, and also liquidate all their assets. Take the houses, take the cars, take the boats, take the artwork, take everything they have, liquidate it all, dump the money, take that money, put it all back into the country. Nancy Pelosi, all right, come get you too. And we'll put all that money back into the country like America First Fund.
Yeah.
All right. And repair this nation.
Yeah.
That's the type of justice that people want now. Just letting them get away with this stuff, that's not enough.
No.
That's not enough now. These people have to pay for what they did.
Yeah. And it's your money. Legitimately, it's your money that they're sending to Ukraine and all these other countries. Yeah, I never thought about that.
It's American people's money. It's not their money. They didn't earn. They got their salary.
Yeah.
All right. They got their salary. That's their money. Pelosi had $173,000 from 2023. That's her money.
Yeah.
Okay. But not the $300 million that she made in the stock market. That's not her money.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't investing it with her money, investing with our money.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you. And what was another question someone asked? They asked about the rapture. Is it coming sooner? Like, are we thinking before December, like December 1st? We talked about that. We said, again, we talked about the idea that it wouldn't surprise us. Like Bob and I are not going to be in the air, and Bob's going to be like, wow, I was right, Shane. Like, we're not going to be arguing about that. I'm not going to be like, Bob, you were off by 1 minute. You were off by 1 minute. That's the last thing on our minds when we're going up.
No, we're not going to be I'm expecting it any moment. All right. But I also live my life.
Right.
That's what, and I've been watching since 2004.
Right.
Okay. So I've been watching and also expecting any moment, but also living my life. And I'm glad that I lived my life.
Yes.
Because
for sure.
It's like, and I thought about that today because funny you mentioned that, to not to expect the rapture, but continue living your life. It'd be like your boss saying to everybody, hey, everybody, this is Friday. You're going to work an 8-hour day, or I might send you home early. So I'll send you home early sometime today, but you don't know when it's going to be. Okay. But are you going to be the worker that stands at the alarm clock minute 1 and sit there all day waiting to punch out?
Yeah, no.
Or are you going to go do your job?
Bad. Yeah.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
And you feel bad. That's a long day waiting at the alarm. So get to work, serve the Lord. Yeah. Our boss, our Abba Father will love it if you do that. Yeah. And be pleasantly surprised when when that day is, when the boss ends your day, whenever that's going to be. Now we could speculate. We could say, you know what? Our boss loves the number 9. They're probably at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh no, I heard talk about 12 o'clock. He loves 12.
Yeah,
midnight.
He loves 7. Yeah, 7.
He likes
7.
boating on the weekends. He wants to leave early, and all is speculating. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, as children, we're speculating.
Or we go right to 7 hours and 59 minutes. Okay, you guys can go home. I'm like, really? Save us 1 minute?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it feels like right now, though. I mean, with the rapture, I was like, really? How much closer? How much worse can it get?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do feel like time has been sped up. I can't prove it scientifically other than just staring at the clock and realizing I can't get everything done that I need to do. And it's like, already uptime is at 6:30 already. Like it's so fast. It's amazing. Like the weekend, it's Tuesday and it feels like the weekend is already coming. Like that's how fast it's ramped up.
I hate having to sleep Can't stand it. I don't want to sleep. I want to keep working. I want to keep living my life. I can't stand sleeping. Okay. And guess what? If you don't like sleeping, you're an early riser. I'm an early riser.
Yep.
My wife can't stand that. I was like, it's like, why do you want to be an early riser all the time?
I know.
Even on the weekends, there's no work going on. You're still early riser.
Yeah, it's almost like a blessing and a curse at the same time because it's annoying for the wives that like to sleep in on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So
brother
guys,
Rick.
What's going on, man?
Hey, before we get started, did you check out Uptime Community Church? Were you watching?
I was there for a few minutes.
Okay, good. That's good enough.
I just got a notice that Ukraine president has shot 5 missiles, long-range missiles into Russia. Russia blocked 4 of them. 1 got in and hit. Now, then there's a thing that just came out an hour ago is that Russia says we are ready. I think they're going to hit back at any time now. I don't know, folks, but if this is coming, then if missiles start dropping everywhere and nuclear missiles start going off, get ready to hear the horn, folks. Yeah, God's not going to let a nuclear war happen with us here. Either he's going to let this thing go and we're going to go up, our feet will leave the ground, or he's going to stall it somehow. What a great opening, huh, guys?
Welcome to the show, Rick.
Yeah, Talladega Rick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know where my names went.
Maybe it's a sign the rapture's getting ready to take. We don't need our names onto this last broadcast,
They're
man.
just gone for some reason.
Raptured. Bob just raptured into the lighthouse, so.
Yeah.
Funny. So how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good to have you. I thought I'd send you a link and all this kind of stuff because you just never know when the rapture is going to happen or whatever, right? Like you just never know when.
So what if it wasn't going to happen for a while? Then what's going on here?
Just kidding, Rick. You're not left behind. Bob and I are still here. You're safe. It's okay, Rick.
Oh man, I'll tell you. I ain't worried about being left behind. I know I won't get left behind. But yeah.
That's interesting, Rick. Now, if that's taking place now, and how quickly can this escalate then?
Exactly.
Will it be they'll start shooting military installations first? Or they go right for the jugular and start taking out civilizations? I don't think Putin wants to do that.
No.
It has to be a tactical attack. With and the thing is they didn't use a nuclear bomb. Here's the thing. They used a missile that wasn't nuclear tipped. Okay, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. All right.
Hey, look who it is,
you
guys.
don't respond with that much force.
What's up? Sorry, Bob.
Yep.
Brother Gary.
There we are.
But you see what I'm saying though?
Yes.
They're not going to respond with full blown nukes on Chicago tomorrow.
No.
But I think this is the beginning of escalation. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And think of Putin's not an idiot. No. Trump's been talking with it. Putin knows that we have a dirty, filthy, disgusting deep state government that nobody wants, and we've voted these guys out. Putin doesn't want to kill us all off over here because he knows that we don't want Biden in. He knows we don't want these Democrats here.
Right.
He knows that's going to, but by killing all of us ain't going to fix anything. So until we actually drop a nuke on Moscow, we drop a nuke on Moscow.
Yeah.
All right. You might as well just go downstairs and sit outside in your front lawn, put your hands in the air. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think what's interesting is because it's U.S. sanction, if you will, weapons. I think Putin has been saying, U.S. stay out of this, and if your weapons go into my country. So the thing that I think about is I worry about Alaska being hit first or off the coast. If they have a nuclear sub off the coast of Cuba or somewhere there, then all of a sudden you guys are ripe for the pickings, especially right now.
Yeah, they're cutting cables too. I'm hearing about this cable cutting under the water. When they start cutting cables, that things are about to go down, folks.
If you go to one of my earlier videos about 2 years ago, I called it, I forget what I called it. It was almost like submarine wars. I talked about, I was out in the farm and I'm like, man, if I was Zelensky or Russia or any of these guys, I would go across, I'd start cutting cables. I wouldn't even worry about these satellites in space. I would start cutting cables because if you cut the cables, you're going to break the communication with the US and Europe, and we're not going to be knowing
Right.
anything. We'll be totally isolated. It'll be the world we left behind all over again. It'll be a rerun of that movie.
There's a bunch of ways this can go down. If the all I know is once I said this yesterday on Rick's show is once the grid goes down and communication is done and 5G disappears off your phone, okay, that's it, man. That's not coming back.
Yep.
Okay, that is your warning. And we I think we're all waiting for that 5-minute warning or 15-minute warning from the government to send us on our phones. But how are we going to do that if the grid goes down?
Yeah, they
And
don't
how are they
care,
going to do
guys.
that? These cables are down. They can't. I don't think Elon Musk is going to use his satellites to talk to us. So because our phones are not attached to the satellite,
You won't even know
how
when
you
the
gonna
first
do that?
nuke hits, folks. You won't even know when the first one hits. It's already,
Yeah.
them things have already gone. Several areas have been taken out already, and you're still waiting for your alert. That's how fast it's going to happen, folks. And then once that happens, if the first nuke goes off and hits one city, maybe God may allow one city, because that'll scare the hell out of everybody to repent and come to Jesus. A lot of people are going to get saved on that day, folks. I just have a feeling when you're scared and you know you're about to die in the next 30 minutes from a nuclear war, you're going to be looking for God really quickly on that day. And you're going to be looking, saying, God, I'm going to die. Please save me. And Jesus, cry out to Jesus. And I'm going to tell you, it's a great way to scaring people into getting them ready. Is then the rapture comes, and that next 10 minutes later, you're saved. And that's why I think God may just allow one nuke to go off and allow this thing to go up to the edge. That's just my opinion, folks.
That's what Kevin Barnett saw. One nuke that goes off in the Middle East. I think it's going to be Damascus. I believe it's going to be Damascus. Think about Damascus. If you're still living in Damascus, and that's your own fault.
Yep.
All right. You know, you're constant again, Bob. You know, Jed said, the kinfolk said, Jed, move away from there. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to get out of there, man.
Yeah. Black gold. Yeah. So here's a video I did a year ago saying Submarine Wars Black Swan event special edition episode number 2 talking about 95% of the sea cables and all that, like all our internet. You can argue 99% of our internet goes under the sea. You cut those cables. I even put little marks where you should cut the cable. I'm like, do it right here. We will be totally blind. You just have to cut that.
Well, if
Done.
the internet goes out, folks, you know what time it is, folks. If anything, it's good news for us. We're about to get out of here if that happens.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen that in my dreams. I've seen the phones shut off, and I've seen all the cars shut off too. I was going over an overpass, and I saw my phone. It was sitting on the dash, and all of a sudden, all the red lights turn off. Phone and all the lights, everything just turned off everywhere. And I was like, and I knew that was it. This ain't coming back, and whatever was to follow was not going to be good.
Well, they can take the 5G towers and keep them. I don't want them back.
Yeah.
Take your 5Gs and shut them off. I don't mind that.
Here's a video of the subs that they actually have that are specifically designed to cut cables. They have 5 or 6 different types of subs. One of them looks like a little fish, but they use all kinds of subs to basically monitor the ocean levels or the ocean floor, and you wouldn't even detect them. You wouldn't even be able to see these guys. And this is right off the coast. So I talked about this. I did it a couple of times on my video on my channel. I think I talked about it after Russia invaded Ukraine. I said, watch for a submarine war, because in the Bible, it talks about a third of the ships get destroyed. And that was always confusing to me. Like, why would there be a huge naval battle? And then I thought, oh, it's the subs. You need the subs. America needs a bunch of subs to protect the cables, and Russia's going to try and cut the cables in order to make you blind. once you're blind, then you can come in from the north into Alaska, and you think our Navy's going to stop anybody with our one sub in West Edmonton Mall? They'll just roll over us and get to you guys. There's no wall. It's crazy.
Yeah, and we have a leadership here that wants us all dead. They want us all gone. Look, there's a
That's
whole
real
red
nice of
country
them,
right
right,
now.
guys?
This whole country is politically red. All right, all they see is that's all blood right there, man. That's all they see. They know there's no hope. They know they can't come back next election and bring somebody back. They know that this is a generational thing. I'm hearing this from all these internet analysts now. They're saying this is generational. This is going to last for generations. Yeah. The Democrats screwed up so bad and pushed the people so far to the left and pulled this awful, disgusting crap with transgender people and the LGBTQ and everything they did with the alphabet agencies and everything. The absolute corruption and filth and garbage from these people has pushed everybody to a point now where everybody's participating in their schools, everybody's participating in life. They don't want to see this come back, and they're going to fight even harder the next election. It's going to be this way for the next 50 years, at least. No Democrats ever getting back in. Okay, I believe that. I believe that so perfectly. Okay, so which means, guess what? You're not going to win. So unless you want to see Trump and his grandchildren being the next president after that, and after that, and after that, and after that, you might as well flip the game table, have them cut the cables, have Russia maul over Canada, take out your one sub over their shame, and come down here and blow the crap out of us. Okay, and then have a few people left here, and then have China come in, and they'll take out our militias, and that way our debt to China has been paid because China can come in here and take up what's left at that point. And now all debts are paid. Okay. So I'm just saying they know that election is not going to work for them no more. What are you going to do with all these people here that can't stand you? They'll never vote for you.
Yep.
And if you're the deep state and you have that type of power, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't wait for these kids, these people to have their kids, and kids get older, because I'm teaching my kids never vote Democrat ever.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's learning now. Even the young generation, college kids and stuff. Yeah, they know they'll never win another election. It's done.
Yep. Here's another video I did 2 years ago about Ukrainian superpower mini subs. I don't know if you guys knew that they had subs as well. So submarines, like if I was Ukraine or if I was Russia, I would have been stockpiling over the last 4 or 6 years and just building up subs. That's all I would have been doing. Forget about the carriers, all that stuff, because if you have a sub, you can cause way more damage than any of these planes, ships, anything. They could see you coming miles away with planes, and you got Iron Dome, you got all kinds of stuff. But under the sea, all bets are off.
I want to share something with you guys. This is going on right now as we speak. Russia today is doing this. They're putting these shelters in. They're bomb-proof nuclear shelters. So if they get attacked by us with nuclear weapons, all we know is the KM nuclear bomb shelters. They're putting them in. They're $380,000 a piece, and they're dropping them off everywhere because they're getting ready for a war within the next 48 to a week from now. I think they're getting these in as fast as they can, folks.
Wow, interesting.
That's amazing. How things are moving so fast before Trump gets in, folks.
Yeah.
You can't make this up. They're making their move right now. They want us all dead, and they want this crap, him not to get in there. They'll do anything. Their deep state is panicking right now, folks. If you see stuff like this, nuclear war is imminent right now, and the rapture too.
Right. Yeah, they can't allow Trump to get in. That's just that's all that. If we go right past January 20th and everything just seems cool, all right, then let's think about it this way. Russia, how much do those things cost? $350,000 a piece.
$380,000 a piece.
Yeah, and they're mass producing those things all over the place. They are investing a lot of money because they know something. They know that this nuclear war is definitely coming.
Oh, it's coming.
It's definitely coming.
So is the rapture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Do you guys have your bomb shelters all up to date?
My bomb shelter's in heaven, guys. As soon as the rapture
Yeah,
comes, I'm
mine
already
too.
in my shelter. I got a golden purely made shelter that's about
Nice.
20, it's about 15 stories high, waiting for me up there.
That's a good answer. It's a good
I,
answer.
I'll be honest. I actually thought about building one here.
Oh yeah,
You know,
that's funny.
I actually thought about it because I was like, I didn't build this house. I just bought it. But I was like,
Yeah.
if I developed the property
Yeah.
when it was built, I would have probably built something deep underground,
Yeah.
something not very big,
Yeah.
but something
Yeah.
that could last a little while.
Yeah.
You know,
NY
I can
Prepper
tell you
has one.
that in Calgary there, to me, and this is just me, this is me going conspiracy, in the Northwest, I'm pretty sure I found a bomb shelter. It's all covered with grass and everything. They have gates, they have fencing, all kinds. I'm like, why is there so much fencing around this area? And I actually had a friend that actually flew a drone over the place, and actually it was actually an airplane, not a drone, just a small plane, and it fell. And so he's like, "Oh man, I want my plane back." So he went onto the property, and before you knew it, there was a 4x4 pulling up asking him why he was there. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just getting my plane." And they're like, "Okay." And they watched him leave the premises, and he's like, "It was the weirdest thing because I was out in the middle of a field close to it, and it just went over. There was no fencing on this side, and he just went close to the fence with this plane." And that was for them. And I believe that this is where our dignitaries, if you will, the mayor, all the stuff from Calgary will go into the shelter, unbeknownst to us. They'll be protected or whatever, right? So it's probably like that all over Canada, and the US probably has hidden shelters from the rich. They're probably hiding all their Lamborghinis in there and all this stuff, right?
that's crazy. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
Ain't gonna work.
No.
These shelters are going to be destroyed. That 6 seal earthquake is going to destroy all those things. When this tectonic plate shift, they're going to shift everywhere, rip the hole in the wall. Those things, the groundwater is going to pour into these places and flood them like you wouldn't believe.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
They're not. None of them are safe anywhere from any of this stuff.
No. So I don't want to keep you very long there, Bob and Rick. So how about final thoughts? What are your final thought, what we talked about tonight, and just what do you think if you were to use your little crystal ball, because we were pretty close a little while ago when we were talking about, man, it sure felt quiet. And when was that when we were talking about that? It was just a few days later and Donald Trump got assassinated or attempted assassination. Remember that week before? We were like, it's eerily quiet. And Bob's like, it's eerily quiet. And I'm like, that's interesting that you say that, Bob. Now that you say it, it does feel like it's eerily quiet. So I feel like maybe it's eerily busy. I don't know what the right word is right now because there's lots of stuff going on. And whenever the media tells me to look right, as in look towards Russia, and all this stuff, I look to the left because I want to see what's going on that no one's looking at. I want to see the chess pieces being moved. That's kind of how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I rely on people like Rick that are following Russia 24 hours a day. And I can just ask Rick, hey, what's happening? But I'm looking in the other direction for stuff that's being moved. What are these celebrities doing? Where are these dignitaries going? Are they leaving on planes? What are they doing? Is gold going up? Is gold going down? Like I'm watching all this kind of stuff, right?
I'll
These
go
little
ask Bo
indicators.
for that question.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
it's an indicator of the panic in the market. That's all it is. Like when Trump went in, gold started going up and silver. Before that, it was going down because people were worried that Kamala was going to get in. That's all. I just look at that. Like when I say gold, I mean the stock market always seems to take a bit of a hit whenever there's a new leader and new transition. But if you see AI, like say NVIDIA, all their shares all of a sudden being liquidated or something overnight, they're either leaving the country or something's going on, right? So
yeah, I think my final thoughts is, as far as that's concerned, it's eerily quiet. It's been eerily quiet since the election. Yeah, you have
smooth.
protesters and stuff like that, but the protesters, they watch to see what their global masters. They're watching to see if their global masters were going to protest, and they didn't. So they took it into their own hands, and they're protesting on their own, and they're getting arrested. All right, I'm seeing the videos on there. That stuff ain't working no more. The police are actually showing up and arresting all the Kamala Harris protesters. They want a new election. They're all getting arrested.
Yeah.
Beaten down and arrested. So
They're
that
on
doesn't
their
work
own.
anymore. Okay.
Yeah, they're on their
Well,
own. They're being deserted.
Yeah, they thought we'll take it in their own hands, and it's not working. Their global masters have left them. So the global masters haven't done anything, and then you had the politicians who are kind of like little puppets. They try to do something. Hey, we're going to do this, and we're going to do it. We're going to come together. All these Democrats, we're going. All the stuff they're doing is little tiny moves. As they're weak moves.
Yep.
We have not seen the globalist leaders, the powers that be. We haven't seen how they are protesting the Trump victory, but now when Biden authorized those missiles into Ukraine, I think that's the beginning of the globalist leaders' protest of Trump's victory.
I see what you're saying.
That's their counter move, is to start World War III, which I said that's what they're going to do. Flip the game table. All right, they get to stay in power. Is a horrible measure that we have in the Constitution. I don't know who thought of it. All right. They shouldn't have their signature in the Constitution. Oh, if a war breaks out, we can't switch presidents. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
We could totally have an election during a war.
Yeah, Bob, I don't think that their plan's going to work very well. I mean, just like a lot of their other plans that have kind of backfired, and the fact that they're all lawyering up right now is just showing that the Piper's coming and calling for them. I mean, it is like day of reckoning is coming. Now they're trying obviously to stave that off, right? They're trying to make that day never happen somehow. Like they flee the country, or they're hiding in the rocks or whatever. But we're basically seeing this blurring of the lines, like we talk about, because these people are trying to do that now against man's wrath, and man being like Trump, for example, and whoever he's appointing is going to put the wrath of the law onto them. Well, they're going to be the same people that are going to try to hide from the face of God.
Yep.
And from the judgment that's going to come upon the whole earth.
Yep.
So they're just doing a dress rehearsal now, Bob, and they're trying to make war, and they're going to make war with the saints later on, are they not? During the tribulation. So now they're trying to make war between different countries and stir things up. So you're seeing a lot of the precursors of the tribulation happen right now with the exact same behavior. Because if you think these people are going to change, everything's coming to you, man.
Yeah.
No, they're terrorists. They're not going to change.
They're not going to change. I mean, just because you go down to Mar-a-Lago for a breakfast doesn't mean that all of a sudden you've seen the light. I mean, it's like, after brunch, we feel he's definitely not Hitler. No, that wasn't a Nazi rally. No, we need to make America great again. Now, look, I'm not saying that Bob and I and everybody on this panel are like all into the make America great again and this and that. America's falling. Okay, it's falling down quickly. There is now, granted, God will put little respites in there for times, which is great for those who live in there, because when they have a good king, the nation rejoices. When there's a bad king, the nation mourns. Well, we're under the rule of a bad king right now, a really bad one. I mean, Joe Biden's like lost in the Amazon.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
I mean, our president is lost in the Amazon.
Man.
He's lost all the way. What are you talking about? He's lost more in the Amazon. His whole brain is like the Amazon.
No, but did you see him walk into the Amazon forest?
Yeah. Yep. Disappeared.
Rick. He went to the Amazon.
I didn't see that.
Did a speech.
Yeah,
turned around and walked into the Amazon, never to be seen again.
No, he's probably trying to hide because he knows a nuclear war is coming. He says, I better get in here in case they drop them nukes. Good luck with that, buddy.
It was
He's got a bunker hidden back there in the bushes.
In the G20 photo, okay?
Yeah, that's strange that they're all the way over there right now. Why did they plan it in Brazil, okay? to get away from the hotspot nuclear targets.
There
probably.
you go. I mean, the
Yeah.
guy's away doing that lost in the Amazon
In the middle
while
of
doing
this
an executive order in order to fire long-range missiles.
Let
into
them
Russia.
all die in America. I'm down here in Brazil. Have hunky. You eat your ice cream on the beach while you're here to see the
Yeah, I'm
mushroom
good.
clouds in the United
Bob, you're
States
right.
going off.
You're right. He did not sign that order.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
He did not sign that order. He
No
doesn't
way.
even know his first name. He's an idiot.
Yeah. Anyways,
Hey,
let me get my
welcome.
closing thoughts here real quick.
Yeah, we're getting bigger and bigger. as we
Well,
go.
yeah.
I thought
Let
we
me
were
just say
starting
this.
Overtime, aren't we? Just starting this? Come on.
Yeah, I think so. I was
Let me
going to
just
wrap
say
it up.
this.
But
Well, I won't
Let
be
me
here
end
long
with it.
because
John
it's
just got
already
here.
1 o'clock for me.
yep. Yeah, no,
Let me
it's good,
end
John.
with
And,
this, guys.
okay.
and before I came, I heard you guys talking bad about French people.
No, I silly just came on for a couple of minutes. Here
Won't
to
be the
say-
first time.
Say goodnight to
Won't
you
be
guys.
the first.
Yeah, won't be the first.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to fill out a hurt feelings report for you, John. Okay, Rick, what's your last? What's your not last, but what's your?
Well, it could be
Final
my
thought here.
last thoughts. Like we could be out here. That's how soon it is. But the fact of the matter is why is it quiet? Like I'm going off piggyback what Bob was saying about the quietness.
Yeah,
Because they say, look, we don't need we're not going to do all this in the United States. Let's just go all out with a nuclear war. So you notice all that stuff with Antifa and all them guys. They didn't do all that. So you didn't see all those protests. And they both lost. And they probably did it on purpose, folks. They probably allowed him to win on purpose. As they said, look, we can let him win, but while he's in the transition period, we can have our nuclear war and kill off the populace. All the people will be there, and then we can go right in there and be in power forever.
What a great,
See?
peaceful
Pretty good little
transition
plan.
that
It's
was.
brilliant how it worked out for them. They planned this years ago, folks. They didn't just plan this today. They had this all in the making. They said let Trump win. And this is just an opinion of mine. I mean, I'm not saying it's 100% fact, but
Sure.
and
It's a possibility.
he is in the Amazon right now. He doesn't know where his tail is from his head, and he's in there probably eating ice cream in his hotel or wherever he's at. And he's there. They hightail it right to that area. They said, let's have it here, and then be here when the nukes go off, and they can be on a lawn chair
Doesn't
sitting on the
care for the
beach
time left.
eating the ice cream while the mushroom clouds are going off
Eating
everywhere.
the ice cream.
And
He does,
Joe
yeah.
Biden knows that's not going to be his last ice cream cone, but it'll be the last for everybody else. So I'll be leaking more ice cream while you all are dying of radiation sickness. Bet on it.
You're
You
making
know
me
what I'm
hungry.
eating when you're burning like a
I
fire
want
Joe?
to get some ice cream.
Yeah, that's coming as well, but he better eat all the ice cream he can because he ain't going to be eating any more of it soon, folks.
Nope.
So my thoughts on that, and the thoughts to you guys out there that are sitting on the sidelines waiting, thinking, oh, I'll see what's going to happen. No. You see what I just told you on here tonight. They're getting ready for a nuclear war everywhere. They're telling citizens everywhere to get ready in case you get that alert on your phone. There's a lot of stuff that's in preparation in the past 24 hours like we've never seen before. Get right now with Jesus Christ. Do it now, folks. Don't wait till the bombs start coming down. Do it now. Jesus, I accept you as my Lord and Savior. You do it now. That way you're rapture ready. Your feet will leave the ground with the rest of us when it comes. That's what I'm saying. If we don't see you all next week and the bombs have gone off in some places and they're after, I'll hope to see you all in the clouds. I know I'll see these fellas here in the clouds. But the rest of you out there, and I'm not talking bad about everybody on the chat room, but there's people that might be watching this, Brian, saying they're in that in-between decision mode, like, shall I give my life up for Jesus? Is my partying more important every weekend, or is going into eternity with us in paradise more important than one more party downtown?
Yeah.
Get with it, guys.
It's good.
Yep.
Thank you, Rick. Bob, what are your thoughts? Oh, sorry. You know what? Yeah, you should. John, let's bring you in real quick here. I know it's
John
late
wants
for
to
you.
So I just got a quick thing. It says
Sure.
right now, 12 minutes ago, Global News from Canada, Putin lowers Russia's threshold to use nuclear weapon. And he has a big fat smile. So, I mean, right? Everything is there. Everything is there for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Read your Bible, even the parts that you don't want to read.
Yeah.
Study to show thyself approved.
Yeah.
You'll see.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, John, for that. I appreciate it.
I'll go to bed now. Y'all have a good night.
Good to see you, John.
Yes, thank you,
4 in the
brother.
morning where you're at, John.
Well, it's 1 o'clock right now. That's enough
Oh,
because we
yeah.
wake up the first one. We got to run this world, right? Before
That's
you
right.
American people wake up late.
That's right.
Be safe
All right.
out there, guys.
I love you guys.
Au revoir. Au revoir, my friend.
Have a good
Au
week.
revoir. Bye-bye.
Okay.
And
Hey,
then
Shane,
the
I see
report.
you have a works-based prepper in your chat. So that's kind of neat. But yeah, well, I'm not going to be deceived. So I just thought I'd let that person know that no, whatever. I do have food and water actually, but it's not for me. It's for those who are left behind when they come into my. Yeah.
They come
Yeah, I
to
think
your
a lot
house.
of us have that. I've talked to a lot of Christians, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I've got stuff too," and it's like, it's not. Do you think you're ever going to use it? And they're like, "No,"
Yeah.
but I know that people will, and I've said that. I said I think that people get in here, they're going to lock the door behind them and say,
Yeah.
"I'm going to board this place up because I
It's
can
open
stay here
season.
for a
All the
while."
homes that'll be vacant from the rapture, and
if
all the
you-
illegals will be going in there.
Yeah,
If you ever watched the movie
but I also have a
The
thumb
world-
drive too.
The World We Left Behind, I've watched it twice. And I made the mistake of watching it with my daughter and her husband, and he's like, "That was the worst movie ever. I'll never get that 2 hours back." And I'm like, you know what? That's how I felt the first time I watched it. And he's like, "What? You watched this already?" But I might watch it again. But at the end, I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Spoiler
But
alert.
it feels like it's rapture-esque, as in these people are in the tribulation now, and so much that they actually come across a home that has food for them, and it's abandoned, and it's got everything. It's got Friends. It's got Friends and DVD, like all 20 seasons of Friends or whatever, all ready to go. But they had food, everything, and there's nobody in the home, and it was unlocked. If that doesn't say somebody got raptured out of that whole area, I don't know what else. And Barack Obama put that in there, that movie. So I think he was probably against his will to put that movie out to warn people this is what it's going to look like after the rapture. Because that's sure what it looked like. Planes falling out of the air. Planes were actually crashing onto beaches. 747 planes.
Yeah,
But
well,
oil tankers crashing into the shore, no unmanned.
that would be the episode of the one where they're left behind.
Yeah.
That is, and I know what you're doing with the one that because that's what all those things. That's what all the Friends episodes were named.
Yeah.
But,
You caught that. You're the only person that caught that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly. They named all theirs. The one with blah 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's interesting though is that watching Friends isn't going to do anything for you.
What?
And so no, but it's going to give you. But what you've done is you've turned it into something which is watchable and which is actually teachable, and that's the awesome thing. And that Bob and I have flash drives. I don't know if you guys have them as well, but we have flash drives in the house, in our houses, where we have a USB drive that says "Watch After Rapture." I mean, people are going to be able to get it, to get the truth, because it's not going to be easy to find at a certain point, you see? Yeah. And so we're doing everything that we can in order to prepare those who are going to be left behind. But we, for ourselves, Jesus told us not to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus
what
told us
loving
what you do tomorrow and this and that, because we are taken care of. I mean, if the birds of the field are taken care of, we're taken care of as well, as long as we're walking in his will. You see?
What a loving thing to do, to leave food for the people that hate your guts. And we're trying to help them get through the tribulation by leaving food, leaving books that they could read. They could read all these books. I got a couple of Bibles up there, thumbnail drives, Friends that are maybe incorrect in the labeling. Like I
Right.
might put Friends season 1, but when they put it in, it's actually me talking about the rapture. It's like, I
Right.
know we could be friends, but hey, this is where we went. We weren't abducted by aliens. Run for your life. Like,
The
what
majority,
other religion will do that where you actually protect the people that hate you?
Well, some
they
people leave a
won't.
simple
Yeah.
left behind letter, and they
The
read it,
majority of
you know?
I got
Christians,
one on my refrigerators.
just the majority of the people in the United States know what the rapture is. Why? Because of those who are Christian, a lot of them know. A lot of them who don't believe in the rapture that are Christians still know what the rapture is. And all those who are, and a lot of people who are secular also know what the rapture is because Hollywood's done multiple movies on the rapture. They had a movie called Rapture Palooza, for goodness sakes. I mean, they mocked it. So yes, someone asked in chat, will people know what the rapture is? The vast majority of the people know about the rapture.
Yeah,
And
it's all of our cult teachings too.
and they also know from different religions as well about people being taken away, and like New Age religions and also other religions, that there's going to be a change, that people are going to shift, and that all this stuff. So yes, everyone's going to know. Now, whether or not they know exactly who did it and why, that's going to be part of the deception. That's going to be part of the delusion, that people are going to reject the entire truth of Jesus Christ and then reject that as well. They're going to accept the fallen angels as their friends, all those kind of things. So if you don't have the Holy Spirit indwelled in you, you're in for a rough ride. And you're right, Shane. And you know why we do those things? Because we have the love of God within us, and we don't want to be told, you never did it to the least of these.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot of Bibles stored up right now because we have every missionary. They have Bibles. We're actually getting to the point now we're actually able to save Bibles now for Operation Bible Storm. Even all the Bibles essentially for Operation Bible Storm, because it's not just ones that are saved in pallets and stuff like that.
Right.
It's the ones that are in people's homes that are hard to find.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those Bibles are, as long as they're not in a warehouse, as long as you're not in the store, distribution center, we're cool.
For
Get
those
them
who
out.
fret and say, oh, people aren't going to know how to get saved and everything like that after the rapture. Yeah, God's just going to abandon them. Come on.
Yeah.
You
You have
to
an angel floating around all over the place saying, don't take the mark. If that isn't a hint, I don't know what is.
preaching the gospel of the kingdom in everyone's native language so that they know exactly what they're talking about. Yeah, God's got it covered. Okay. So people who are all fretting saying, oh my goodness, well, no one's going to get saved and this and that. Come on, put your trust and faith in the Lord. God wishes no one to perish. Okay. So he's going to reach every single person during the tribulation in their own way, in different ways, using the two witnesses, 144,000 who are sealed, using an angel that goes directly to them and preaches the gospel of the kingdom.
That's amazing how that angel, it has to be angels. I mean, how is that going to work? That angel has to be everywhere at once.
Yeah,
they can.
That has
I mean,
army up.
you got to wonder if God's like, this angel can specifically do it all at once, like, I don't know. I mean, it's
Every
one
eye shall see him
omnipresent.
coming.
The only one's omnipresent is God.
true.
So, but the angels flying about the midst of heaven, but it talks about other angels and what they're doing before it gets to the Revelation 14 angel.
Yeah.
So then I saw another angel flying about the midst of heaven. So
There's a bunch of
There's
angels.
more than one.
Yeah.
So
I
they're
doubt that
definitely
it's just
angels.
one and he just like duplicates it everywhere. It's probably just the whole host of angels that are just like,
that's
wham,
awesome.
just in
And
mass.
there's also people warning whether or not people can hear from earth, but there's a shout that goes out from heaven, those that dwell in heaven, saying, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because the devil is now among you. Our great accuser that's been accusing us day and night is now among you, and he knows his time is short. That should tell you something. There's people living in heaven, inhabiting heaven, looking down, going, uh-oh, I feel sorry for those people.
We'll be able to see it all from up there, guys.
Exactly.
We're watching it on no
100%.
300-inch TV up there. We'll just be able to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, who's going to be the witnesses against Satan for the accusal? We are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
You
I can't
tried
wait
this.
to get
You
that
tried
day
that.
to say,
You did this. You
you
did that.
did this.
Wham! And he's going to
Exactly.
be slammed down into
Oh, yeah.
into the earth, and he's going to be ticked
Yeah.
off, man, just pissed.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he's
it's
no longer going
interesting.
to be where we are. He's going to look at us and
Yeah,
go, "Oh,
and that's
these weak
that's
humans."
actually a good point. When they get cast out of heaven,
Yeah.
they try to go back up,
Yeah.
and they're refused entry.
Mhm.
They can't. They either they lost their power,
Yep.
or they can't get past that barrier,
Refused
Permanent.
access.
and
Permanent
they're
closed.
stuck. Yeah, and Isaiah talks about that
I
where
would love to be at the gate to tell them, "Hey guys, you can't come in." Hi guys.
yeah, it probably will be. I think it's in Isaiah
Turn around.
where
Yeah, go back, man.
the
around.
devil's comrades basically say, you
Bob
promised
Marshall out there.
us, you promised to allow us to ascend to the Most High. You made a deal with us, but yet you're here like
Yeah.
us. You're
They're
just
gonna be
like us.
Ticked off. You're gonna see the faces of those
Oh,
demons.
he's gonna hate
They'd be
it.
like, "Arr, we can't come in there." No, you can't. So bye.
Bye-bye.
He's never going to have
Bye-bye.
access again. Remember, he's never going to have access again, because after
Ever.
that, he goes down to the earth. And
Yep.
at the end of that, when Jesus returns along with us, Jesus Jesus has a random
An
angel.
Yeah.
Just a random angel. He's not even named. They
Yep.
go over there and chain Satan and put him into this bottomless pit.
Yep.
Somebody said in the
Satan
comments.
can't be like, "Oh, if you only have an angel,
Highlight it.
okay, that's it. I'm going to take over." No,
Somebody
he
said
can't even
something
do
about
that.
the rapture.
It's like,
Hopefully,
wham.
we'll have Thanksgiving in heaven this year from Guy. That's hope.
Yeah.
Hope that's true, man. I hope we
So
get to
he's
go
going to
there
go
by
down
that
the
time.
bottomless pit. After
Yes.
1,000 years, he's going to be loose for a little while. He's going to receive all the nations on earth.
Yes.
And then after that, he's going to be thrown into the lake of fire.
Yep. Done.
So, I mean, and by the way, for all this talk about Satan is the king of hell, guess what?
No.
Satan is never going to hell.
Yeah. It's like
He's
a fire.
going directly to the lake of fire.
Yeah. No judgment. Do not pass go.
He's
Go
never
straight.
even going to be in hell.
Yeah, no judge, no trials. He's just going, buddy. You're gone, buddy. Get
I
your
mean,
butt down
that's
there
the
and burn
crazy
forever.
part. It's like, oh, yeah, you know what's worse is like the beast and the false prophet. They get tossed directly.
You know, I
They're
have
the
a trick
They're the
question.
first two inhabitants of the lake of fire.
Yeah.
I have
first
a
two.
question for
That's a
you
good
guys.
point.
Yeah.
Let me ask this to you guys. I don't know how to word it, but when we know the demons and all that are in hell with Satan, and they're tormenting all the people that are there now, the ones that have gone to hell, okay? When Satan and his demons and the Antichrist get cast into Satan's bound for 1,000, and his demons are thrown down there along with him, will those demons be able to roam free in hell and still do their tormenting during that 1,000 years? Yes or no?
Yeah.
They still can? Okay.
Yeah, they still can. It's going to suck down there. They could do it right now.
Well, I know
Okay.
now, but I figure since Satan is bound to his change for 1,000 years, he's mobilized. He can't do much with it. And his demons, I think they do something to his demons.
Well, it's
so
just
they're taking
as
away
far as
from
I
that.
know, it's just the devil that gets tossed into the bottomless pit.
Okay.
Yep. Hell, that's correct. Only Satan gets tossed in there, and
So
hell.
the demons are left alone to do what they want still.
And after the 1,000-year reign, and after the
They're
deceit,
loosed for a little
and
bit.
after the great white throne judgment, hell is thrown into the lake of fire.
Yeah.
Okay?
Death and hell tossed.
So death and hell are tossed into the lake of fire. So hell's
That's it.
ultimate destination is the
It's
lake,
the
of,
lake
fire.
of fire.
And
That's
So
a good
yes,
point.
there's
all the
two
people
different
that
places.
are burning, all the people that
Yes.
are in hell are thrown in the lake of fire.
Correct.
So the eternal punishment, you know
It's
what
the
that
lake
is,
of
folks.
It's
the lake of
much
fire.
worse in the lake of fire than
Yeah,
it is in hell.
you punishment now ain't so
Yeah.
as bad until
Yeah,
the
and
weight
there's-
right thrown.
Hell's
You're
bad.
gone, buddy.
But the lake of fire is a
Yeah.
whole different
And
story.
there's nobody in the lake of fire that is in control going, man, I'm just gonna stick this person with a pitchfork.
No,
and all this."
no,
Like
no,
they're
no.
all being tormented.
There'll be
Yeah, you're not
different
even-
layers of the lake of fire, of
Yeah,
course,
there's
because
just-
God's just and he'll dole out punishment based off of those things. Satan's going to have the worst of the
Be in
worst
the
punishment
core.
for eternity.
Be back in the core of it. Wherever the
core,
core is
yeah,
at.
yeah,
He'll be in the
I mean,
hottest part of hell.
Satan is the ringleader of all deceit, of all lies. He was the one who started it all. So, yeah, he'll get the worst punishment. And you got to think like the beast and the false prophet are probably going to be just
I don't
one
know if
rung
you
below
guys seen
that.
it.
And then maybe right below that are going to be like Hitler, Stalin,
The
people
Core.
like that.
The movie The Core.
Hundreds of millions. So yeah, no, I mean, you don't want to go to hell, but you certainly don't want to go to lake of fire. But if you do go to hell, your only destination is the lake of fire. You cannot get out.
That's scary, folks. Why would you want to be there? You know?
Yeah. Yep. No, it's good.
Is it worth that last drink in the bar? Really?
It's not. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go to either place. You don't have to. That's the thing. It's like if you just humble yourself and accept a free gift, you can escape all those things.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's the simplicity of the gospel, right?
It's the greatest escape plan ever.
It's amazing, and he did it for free. And he did it. God has given us the ability to have that for free.
Yeah. It's
He paid
free
us
for
right.
us,
Well, guys, so God
but it
bless you.
cost him everything.
Take care, Bob.
Yeah,
Bob,
for sure, Bob.
Have a good weekend, and have a good
Have a
week,
good night.
and have a good life. And we'll see you later.
I'll see you guys in the air soon.
All right.
See you there,
All
buddy.
See ya. Final thoughts, Kevin. I know this is kind of short, but we've been
Yeah,
going
no,
on for an hour.
thanks. I like this little uptime overtime thing.
Hey
It's kinda
guys,
cool.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Okay, Rick.
Love you guys. Take
Good night.
care.
See you later, Rick.
Take care. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no
So
problem.
you were wrapping this up before I came on, huh?
Yes, yep. That's okay though. You got lots of time. You can take your time, unpack whatever you want. If you want to start
to
in
me.
Genesis and we want to
Work
finish
our way
in
through.
Revelation, yeah, we got time.
I want to say thank you for the stuff that you do during the week,
Yeah, no
because
problem.
you're a blessing to me. I learn things every time I listen to you speak. So
No,
I-
thank you. Likewise.
no,
I
I mean
learned a lot.
it's great because I think both of us we're in that iron sharpens iron phase,
Yeah.
really, right? I
Yeah.
mean, we're gleaning off of each other because we have different talents.
Yeah.
We speak about different things, and sometimes, and that whole thing you were talking about with the sin is a monetary thing. I was like, wow, I'm 55 years old and I never thought of it that way.
Funny, eh? Yeah, it's
Yeah, well,
interesting.
it just takes a guy from Canada to
Yeah.
open up my
Yeah.
mind to that. So
And for me, like my passion, I think, is going into a little bit more Old Testament. Like I
Mhm.
really like diving in and going. Like I'm in Jeremiah right now. And when you read Jeremiah, like I've read it 14, 15 times now in the last 3 years. When you just take a surface level glance at Jeremiah, you're going to feel like God is an anti-Semite. You're going to be like, wow, he is really coming down hard on Israel.
right,
Like
right.
really, when you think
And
about it.
it's really grieving him, isn't it? For that,
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, this is bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad. And
You're
then-
right.
And then when you see Jesus pop up in the Gospels,
Yeah.
it feels like it's kind of the same.
Mm.
Like how he's treating the religious leaders.
Yeah.
It's like you brought of vipers, you hypocrites, you white wall. Like he's just coming, he's going
Whitewashed
after
tombs.
them, right?
They call them whitewashed tombs.
Yeah, it's like, man, Jesus, you're an anti-Semite. You Jew.
He certainly
Right?
didn't. He certainly did. Yeah, I mean, and God, and you could say, God says, I hate my feasts now. He was like,
Yeah.
what really he was saying is like, I hate what you've done to them.
Yes.
It's like
exactly.
you've continued to go against what I've said.
Yes.
I've made it really easy for you, and you
Yep.
can't even do those things that are easy.
Yep.
And then you go and you sacrifice to other gods,
Yeah.
gods of stone
Yeah,
and
like-
wood
like
that
if-
can't speak.
If you could imagine a pure God and his own creation is breaking his heart in his own land, and he's
Right.
telling you, he's writing it out on a stone tablet. If you follow my commandments, I want to live with you guys.
Yeah.
But because I'm righteous, I need you guys to just not kill each other
Yeah.
and not sacrifice your firstborn children left,
Right.
right, and center. And I'll
And
be
they get a
with
good
you.
king and they tear down all the idols. And then guess what happens? The land
New
heals.
ones. Yeah.
The land heals. And then guess what happens after that? A bad king comes in
Yeah.
and shows another kingdom all the treasures in the temple. That's real
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
That's a great
real
idea.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about we do that?
Let's have
mean,
a tour. I
Can
know.
give you a tour of all our riches.
Yeah.
By
And
the
this
way,
is
here's
where
the passport.
Our
Here's the
weapons, by
passport.
the way. This is
Yeah.
where we keep the red button. This is
Right.
where we keep our shields.
Yeah. Yeah. This is how you turn them off.
Yeah, make sure to close the lights when you leave our country.
I mean, what do you expect? If you're going to do, if you do stupid things, you're going to win stupid prizes. I mean, so that's what Israel went through.
Yeah.
And still to this day, they still don't accept his son as a nation. Now, sure, there are some that do, but not the nation as a whole.
No,
but that nation, and you know what? That nation's going to go through the worst time in its history coming up here.
Yeah.
And but God always has a remnant.
Yeah.
He always has a remnant, and there will be a remnant, and the whole nation of Israel at that point will be saved. And that's amazing, because he is faithful and he is just.
Yes.
And he will cleanse them from their own unrighteousness once they accept his son.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
it. It's the key.
That's it.
It's the key to everything.
Yeah.
Put down your shield and take in Jesus, and then you've got a whole new life ahead of you.
Yeah. And again, looking at it from an outside perspective, if you don't believe in God and maybe you believe that there's beings that are creative and all this kind of stuff, if you look at every other religion, there's only one where you have a God that actually rescues people from Egypt. Right. And brings them out and says, I'm going to bring you into a better land, but you just got to follow some simple rules.
Yeah.
And you're in. You don't steal from each other. This goes contrary to every other god. They want to steal, kill, destroy everything.
Force convert.
Get this God. Yeah. And you get this God that is saying, look, take care of the poor.
Yeah.
Take care of the widows. Do all this stuff. And it's like, man, how can you not love a God like that?
Yeah. I know. Yeah, but the amazing thing is those people that saw those miracles within months, they're griping.
Yeah,
they want to go back. I mean, it's like, but God said, you are a hard-headed people.
Yeah, the more I punish you, the harder you fall.
He chose them to be the most hard-headed people. He chose them that way. I mean, that's what he did. And because think of it, if he chose a less hard-headed people, they would accept his son, and the story's over.
And we're out
at that point,
and
right?
we're out.
So no, it's an amazing story. And you're right. When you look back at those prophets, some of those prophets that were going through that period of time when Israel was either just about ready to get punished or was going through. I don't drink coffee. This is the way God made me. But
that's awesome.
True. It's true. That's the way it is. I can go 10 hours straight if you want.
Yeah. I've actually witnessed it during the election. This guy is going all night, baby.
I did. I could go all night again.
That's funny.
I actually have tomorrow off, so I could. But they're stick-necked people. But and Shane, I know you can go a long time too, brother.
Yep.
God's made you that way too.
I've actually thought about the idea of if my wife goes out of town again sometime, that I would just do a marathon and just start from like 9 o'clock in the morning and just start in Genesis. And then we're going through the whole Bible. And if it takes us 24 hours, it takes us 24 hours.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Just
if you want to do it alone, that's fine. But if you don't want to do it alone, I'll sign up for it.
Okay. No, I think it'd be great to do too. Then I can go to the bathroom while you're talking. But I think it would be fun. I've joked before that I could if I went into a Turkish prison, I don't know why Turkish, but if I went into Turkish prison, I have enough scripture in my head that I can occupy my thoughts for as long as I need there.
Yeah.
I have enough scripture in me that I could go right through the whole Bible and then just do it again and again. Not that I have it all memorized, but I have enough content in here, and we have the Holy Spirit as well that could bring things to memory as well. Right. I'm okay because I packed it in there.
Yeah. You probably couldn't name every single king in succession.
No.
But you could say, I know where to find them.
Exactly. I could paint a nice picture that after we're done going through kings mentally, that you would understand that there's good kings and bad kings, and some did really good and some did really, really bad.
Exactly. Yeah, really, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Like-
no, there's no way I'm going to go through 1,700 names in Chronicles. Sorry. It's not going to happen.
Hey, we could during the 24-hour one though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we could go through every one of them and say this is what happened during this
Yeah.
reign and spend like an hour on kings.
Yeah. 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 And there's some names of some kings that get a paragraph.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
basically, and this guy's in
This
Kings
guy was
anyway.
really bad.
So yeah, it's like read about him in Kings. That's
And
it.
this guy put back up all the idols.
Yeah, I know
Oh,
it is like
yeah.
that.
Right.
And he
yeah.
put them all back.
He put them all
Yeah.
back. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He put them up all, and even on the high places, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the Bible because it says it's like he put up all the idols, even in the high places. It's
Even
like,
there. Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
that was really bad. At least you're like, why couldn't you just keep them in the low places? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, but no, we're gonna put them in the high places too. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, now you've done it.
Yeah. Now he did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did it. God has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
He has a
Yeah.
sense of humor, and you have to look for it as well, because I think that part of that is the sense of humor of God. He's like, not only was this guy bad and put idols in, he put him in the high places. It's like,
Yes. Yeah.
if you do that, then it's like an extra piece of wrath you get.
Yep. An extra dose.
Yeah, a little extra dose.
Yeah.
No,
No,
this is good.
no,
This
it's
is good, Shane. I love being on with you, man. I know we could go on for so long. I would love to do that marathon session with you
Yeah,
because I
I
think
think
that
it'd
the
be fun.
history, like his story, is an amazing thing to experience. It's just
Yeah,
like it
I
just
think so.
gives you perspective of why everything is what it is.
Yeah.
Because that's like a main question that secular people have.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
did we come from?
Yeah.
I need to look out into the stars to figure out whether or not somebody planted me here from out there.
Mhm.
You need to look above the stars.
Yep.
You need to look
Yeah.
above, and that's who actually created us.
Yep.
And so it's amazing. And he created the stars too. It's
Yep.
to see all that take place and then figure out why. And that's what you said. It's like all of a sudden when Jesus comes, it's like,
Mhm.
something's different here. Now, he's the one on the planet actually calling them out for their hypocrisy and calling them whitewashed tombs and calling them the serpents and calling
Yeah.
them the seed of Satan.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's actually calling, like God basically did from heaven. Jesus is doing that on earth. God
Yep.
did it from heaven through his prophets.
Yep.
Jesus is doing that in person to their face.
Yep. Yeah.
It's God on earth. That's
Yep.
why he said,
Yeah.
I and are one.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's almost like he needed to come down to actually see how people are interacting with each other
Yeah.
and how bad it is.
Oh, how they're
How bad it
treating
was.
them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Right.
And that's why he did he who has without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah.
He showed them all their sins. He drew in the dirt.
Yeah. Probably
He
named them
showed them. He saw them.
Trudeau, Biden.
Yeah.
He's probably writing them all in.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he did that today? Went to Washington, D.C. and drew in the dirt?
Man. Oh man, it would be there would not be enough sand.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Well, I think that's part of what's happening right now is that there is actually lines being drawn in the dirt, and people are being exposed right now. And so you've seen all the headlines.
Yeah,
They're scared
drain
to
in the
death.
swamp.
They're
Yeah,
afraid.
they are.
They're lawyering up. They're leaving the country. They're leaving the city. There are lawyers that are saying this is how you leave the country. There's a cruise ship that's going to go on for 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
They're going to make a cruise so that you can be out of the United States for 4 years on a cruise. How
Wow.
stupid are these people? I mean, listen, they're nervous, but you know what? They're the same people, like I said on Uptime, that are going to be hiding in the rocks. I mean,
100%. Yep.
save us from the face of that. I mean, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
These people
Fall on us.
are delusional. Fall on us, rocks, so that save us from the face of the one who's throwing the wrath down on us.
Yeah.
And yet they continue to blaspheme God.
Yeah. To his face.
That is just such hubris and pride, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
To think that you've got more power than the actual Almighty Creator Himself.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
They're
No,
not fooling anybody. They're not fooling me.
no. No.
They do really think. Yeah, somebody in the chat said they really think we are stupid. You're right.
Yeah.
They do. And you know what? the people who they're deceiving and the people that are voting for them, they really are stupid.
Yeah.
But they've underestimated us.
Yeah.
And you can see that they did, because they all thought this was in the bag. They all thought this last election was in the bag. That's why they're all freaking out. They're like, what happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they should have figured it out long ago, but certainly they should have figured it out that night when they said that Kamala's not coming out to speak.
Yeah. Well, you were
like, wait a minute. Didn't 8 years ago Hillary not come out to speak? How'd that work out for us? I mean, these people don't have any logic. They can't even put two.
No.
They actually think 2 + 2 = 5 now. They actually say that. They say it can equal 5 if you want it to be.
Do you remember that guy? I think it was Alan something that came on that morning and said, "I've never been wrong in the history of the United States. I've never been wrong about all the elections that I've predicted and blah blah blah." And he had all kinds of charts and whatever.
Oh, Alan Lichtman.
Yeah, and I took a guess on Sunday saying that I felt like it was going to be a bit of a landslide, but I knew that you knew. That's where I based my stuff off of. And Al Lichtman's like, yeah, no, I got all the data, and he's got all his folders, and he's like, I've never been wrong. I promise I will not be wrong. Donald Trump is out. All of a sudden, a red wave comes in. Boom. Like
I'm just a guy on my laptop.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy on my laptop who's been posting on the internet since August saying that the final electoral vote is going to be 312 to 226.
Yeah, that's all.
That's all. And then and at the beginning of the broadcast, I showed everybody my prediction and said Trump's going to win the popular vote by about 1%, maybe 1 to 2%.
Yeah.
I think right now he's at 1.5 or 1.4, 1.3 or 1.4. So I called that almost to the number. I said between 1 and 2, and I said, and then I also said he's going to win the Electoral College 312 to 226, which is exactly the number that he won.
Yeah, that's
Why?
interesting. You could have went to bed.
I'm smarter than Lichtman? No, it's because I don't have Trump derangement syndrome.
Exactly.
And I actually can see the data for what it is, because what he did is he manipulated his answers in the data in order to fit what his end result wanted to be.
Yeah, and to fit his 20 keys to whatever,
13.
to the White House, or 13 keys to the White House or whatever, right? And it's like, this is inaccurate data, what you're using. You're manipulating it. So
he deluded himself.
Yeah.
He deluded himself into wanting Kamala Harris to win. And so he manipulated the data in order to answer the keys so that it would show that she would win. Yeah. So after she doesn't win, then he says, oh, it's because the American electorate is racist.
Loony.
I mean, he does exactly what all the Democrats do. When something doesn't go their way, they blame it on racism, misogyny, sexism, ageism.
Weak. It's a weak argument.
They just come up with a million excuses instead of actually looking internally and saying, "What do I need to do to change?"
Yeah,
it's so sad, Shane.
I know.
To watch these people on TikTok with their videos and saying all this stuff, and it's like no introspection whatsoever.
Yeah.
We try to better ourselves every day by looking inside of us and hating the things that we do, just like what Paul says.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to do the things I want to do, I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I do the things that I don't want to do. Yeah. Oh, wretched man that I am.
That's a good place to start. It's a very good place to start.
Humble yourself before the Lord.
Yeah. No, it's good.
It's the beginning of the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
If
they don't have any fear of the Lord, they don't even have the beginning of wisdom.
No.
Let alone mature wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
You've got more mature wisdom in you, Shane, than like the entire Democrat Party.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of wisdom there.
They have zero amongst them. So
yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
It was actually
it's funny. This morning I did a video on reading the comments. Sorry, I missed that. What'd you say?
No, you missed the joke. I said that the Democrats have zero, but you have more than ever. So you could just have like a tiny little bit. But that's not what I was saying.
Yeah. I just have a hint more.
You actually went the opposite way, and you went, "Wow, that's a whole bunch." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. I did a video today on comments from somebody sent me an email. Somebody sent an email to me saying that you think you're so special and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow,
Did Shane freeze? Or did I freeze?
Zero. There we go. I did a countdown. All right. So I basically just said, well, my mom likes me. My mom thinks I'm special. But I was just having fun with it, right? Like I was just saying, I get all kinds of emails from people saying I'm a Satanist, that I'm a blasphemer, all the way to like you saying that I'm just a little bit smarter than the Democrats, right? So I get the whole works, right? But if you're not used to that, YouTube will destroy you.
Yeah.
I got thick skin.
Yeah.
Like it took me 3.5 years to build it up. I used to cry and suck my thumb because somebody would say, I don't like you on YouTube because you have an opinion. You have freedom of speech, so I don't like you. I'm going to unsubscribe. I'm telling you, I'm unsubscribing. I'm like, okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. You're like, I'm not here to fulfill your itching ears. That's not what I'm going to do.
No.
You may not like what I say, and you may reject it, and that's okay. Yeah. But no, you're right. Listen, I really don't like when people say bad things about me either. It's hard on me.
Yeah.
People think that I don't have any feelings or whatever, but I do. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to hear those things, right, Shane?
Yep.
But it's not going to stop us from continuing to speak the word of God and speak truth.
No, for sure.
We're not going to back down, but it doesn't feel good when a fellow brother and sometimes they're fellow brethren. Yeah. They just have heresy within them.
Yeah. And I don't have
like the one in here is like the prepper and this and that. Like you must be baptized in order to be saved.
Yeah.
No, that is not what Ephesians 2:8 and 9 say.
Like when I walk down the street, I don't have people walking up to me calling me names. I just don't.
Right.
Like they don't do that, right? I'm 55. Nobody's ever walked up to me unless you're like in high school looking at another girl or whatever it is causing trouble.
Wait a minute, you're 55?
Yeah.
I'm 55.
I know.
Wow. I didn't know we were the same age. What month were you born in?
September 3rd.
Okay, so I'm older. I was born in April.
Wow, you're a lot older. Wow.
Well,
and your head's not even shaking like this
September 3rd? Okay, so I'm 4.5 months older than you.
That's pretty good. We're like
that's interesting. I did not know that. Wow.
What did you think I was, like 60 or 50?
No. I had no idea how old you were. No, I was going to say 80, but that's beside the point. No,
that's not the last time I've heard that.
Kidding. I wasn't going to say that.
It's all right. Old. I get it all the time with my wife because she looks like she's like 30.
I didn't know how old you were.
My wife
figured
she's 30.
I figured you were Gen X though, because you and I talk a lot about the same thing. We like the same kind of things.
Yeah.
We grew up on the same kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We both like the Five. You obviously you watch Friends. I watched Friends when I was younger. I mean,
I don't watch Friends.
No, you watched Friends. I said
I do watch Friends still every once in a while. When I want to just take my mind and put it on tilt, right. I will just play any episode. It doesn't, whatever's coming on TV. I'm just like, yeah, let me just zone out for a little bit.
Big fat goalie.
Zone out. Yeah. Pivot. Yeah,
that's what they're doing. The couch up the stairs, right? Yeah, yeah. That was interesting. Well, I think that is Shane froze again. Am I frozen? Anybody in chat? Anybody?
Zero. See, it always takes 4 seconds. It's weird.
Okay, yeah. All right. I guess you froze again, so I guess it's time to go.
All right. Okay.
Pivot out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go as well. Thanks, right. Kevin, for being on overtime. Really appreciate you. Love you and everything. All the good stuff. We had a fun time tonight, so have a good sleep. Don't stay up too late tonight.
No, I'd probably just be up for another couple of hours, but I do have the day off tomorrow, so I have to use my vacation time before the end of the year.
For sure. Sure. Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, so I got a whole bunch of time coming off. I've got about 160 hours actually.
Wow. That's cool.
To take off. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a lot.
All right, everyone. Thanks for sticking around, watching Overtime. Find Kevin Hookman's channel. Go subscribe to his channel. He's got lots of good stuff. I don't know. Are you doing live during the week as well?
No, not really. I mean, but you can go there to watch the Iron Sharpens Iron series in the playlist. I mean, those are like 10 episodes of gold.
Yeah, go check.
So yes, my channel is my name right there at Kevin Hookman.
Awesome.
Go there and check out the playlist of Iron Sharpens Iron, and you'll get some. I mean, just like 1 hour a piece, basically, of just pure Bible verses.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
Love it. All right.
Yep.
Thanks, guys, for watching. See you later.
Black Swan Revelations here on YouTube brought you today's mind-bending journey. Dive into the discussion, your comments, questions, prayer requests, and powerful testimonies of Jesus' love are what fuel this community. Did today's episode hit home? Smash that like button. New here? Subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss a live stream or a video upload. Thanks for being part of today's adventure. Catch you in the next video, or maybe even in the clouds. Stay curious, stay blessed.